Right, I've finished vomiting now. It's time to confront the reality of snowing outside a shop lots of times. You've switched people being. You're on other sides. Ooh, you. Ooh. You got fun hair. Observe you. They tend to be regulars. Stop advertising fictional drinks at me. This is a nightmare.
I haven't seen you around here before. Is there something I can help you with?
I want to know who you are.
Another one of his fans, huh? Yeah, he comes here sometimes. I don't really get why everyone likes him so much.
What's the problem? Well, I have most of the same problems, I imagine. Has he winked at you on the internet as well?
Well, I have a picture from this time he flipped off a box of kittens.
Fascinating. Tell me more.
Somebody brought them to try to give away, and one of them scratched him up. He ended up taking it home, but he really hammed it up about getting scratched.
I've got to be honest. It was 50-50 for a moment there whether or not we would get the context. But as it turns out...
I think he ended up calling him, I think it was Captain Snuggles?
Captain Snuggles is always the strongest one who gives you the most injuries. This has been true in all cat-based warrior systems.
Funny, actually. I'll send your Rom a picture.
Thank you for a picture of injuring cats.
This is pretty innocuous. We are going to need more evidence if we're to fabricate a believable story that will convince Mr. Nova it's in his best interest to help us.
We're gonna have to fabricate a cat that we like. Well, perhaps... Let's bite the piper and deal with the crime.
Well, if it isn't the luckiest jerk I've ever seen in my life. I had to schedule a specialist to come fix my ROM, and you better hope they can. Oh well, all's well that ends well. I underestimated how much people would appreciate an early Christmas.
And also,
Anyway,
we got rid of the neo-Nazi eugenicists.
what can I do for you?
I'd like to know what the knife
I
is.
still have a little bit before closing, and I could use some conversation to distract me from the anticipation of the VR drama I have waiting for me when I get off.
I know there's a knife somewhere in this building and Charlie Nova did a crime with it. You've got to tell me
What do you
now.
want to know?
If it didn't actually happen, make up something believable, please. Let's interest about the drama.
Oh, it's an ongoing drama called Magical Commander Yukino. Yukino at the Gates to the Deep.
I've seen a poster for that somewhere, probably in this building.
In it, you play the magical girl Yukino as she fights off elder gods as they arise from the ocean. It's a bit cliched and just about as silly as you would expect, but it includes some really interesting intersection between the Japanese magical girl trope and the American Cthulhu mythos.
I do think it's about time Sailor Moon kicked an octopus.
All with a pseudo-military theme.
the pause just then felt very like...
In the newest episode, Yukino has to face off against the Yip as they try to inhabit the bodies of people in the present to escape their destruction in the past.
Yes, the flash forwarding. I remember the Lovecraft work that is from, actually. How's his work?
Not really.
You have to look through the eyes of a puppet.
Video games are about winning and manipulating the mechanics of the system to get ahead, right?
You're looking at me like you know you're a video game character being used towards an end right now. Am I being sans undertaled at this very instance?
Dramas are more about inhabiting the role of the character.
So an RPG,
There are rules, but they're mostly about behaving consistently.
as opposed to a regular playing game. which is also RPG. I've just realised, oh, I fucked it up. I fucked it up for Christmas.
It's a bit like being an improv theater, except if you get too far out of your character, the system boots you out and you have to start the episode over.
It's a fucking television show that you have to get your lines right in? That sounds nightmarish.
Everyone experiences the drama a little differently, but it stays broadly consistent because you have to maintain the behavior of the character you're inhabiting.
I would have so many anxieties.
Inside the head of another person.
Oh, I can do that. I can do that, fine.
I like it better than VR games, but that's just me.
It's funny we should happen to be talking about Eldritch Horror. I gained the ability after eating what the waiter insisted was calamari.
It's the best! Super awesome! If you need any other suggestions, just let me know.
I want to know what this duck game is.
I played through a little bit of everything. I'm sure I could find something you'd like.
I'm concerned that the duck has got really big eyebrows.
Maybe a detective drama.
I could detect things for a living.
Anyway,
I am detecting things for a living. What's more of it?
you don't have internal hookups, do you? The older sets are all helmets that use electromagnetic waves to stimulate the neural pathways in your brain to induce the desired sensory input.
Electric.
It's pretty crude, though.
It's
which is why
electric, you
EMF
see.
gives me that dreamlike experience. It doesn't quite feel real. The direct link network has way higher fidelity. It's like actually being there. And since the direct link can interrupt your primary motor cortex, you don't have to take muscle relaxers to keep from flailing around.
That would be very useful because I do sometimes just flail around.
But some people are still scared off by it.
Because you've put a thing in your head that allows a corporation to directly control what you see and feel.
Well, it's pretty invasive.
Yeah.
They inject this smart polymer into the base of your skull, right at the brainstem, and it crawls along your primary neural pathways and bonds to your major sensory center.
That's an entire symbiote you're describing. You've made
It's been
Venom.
safe for almost a decade, but a lot of folks are still pretty skeeved out by the idea of having a bunch of conductive plastic coating in the inside of their brains.
You've made a corporate Venom.
Plus, for the 24 hours or so that is hooking everything up and self-calibrating, you start to have intense hallucinations because of all the electrical crossfiring.
Yeah, that was... You held on to that kernel of information for as long as you could, huh?
It's a trip, I'll tell you that. But no worse than the stuff people have been taking for millennia, watching the world melt. Anyway, if you're looking to get installed, I have a guy who does great work.
An installation fellow.
Just let me know.
Is that going to be a plot point at some point? Are we going to have to get the brain problem in order to access the virtual world and find a crime? What's Charles Nove doing here?
Charlie is a complete trip. We met when he was just starting out doing adverts. He still drops in every once in a while to hang out.
Charlie is staying around in the cafe having knife times.
I love
I
the
meant
guy.
nice,
He's
but
super funny, always has the best stories, and his hair is perfect.
you know, I had heard that.
And he parties harder than anyone I know. A couple weeks ago, he invited me to this raid at some hole that's probably already shut down, and he got so amped up on Crash that he jumped up on the table and hosted an impromptu dirty dancing contest. I swear, if he was in Charlie Nova, we would have gotten chucked out on our asses, but it was a lot of fun.
Excellent use of the word chucked. Chucked is underused as a phrase, especially when it pertains to Charlie Nova. I wish more people would chuck him around just to have it used in conversation, you know?
If you want to meet him, just hang around here long enough. He loves mingling with his fans. Not that it helps his ego any.
I will scuttle around the ceiling looking for him until he gives me the answer to what crimes have been near him today.
Sure. Just let me know if you need anything. I'm always happy to
Thank you for helpfuls, Hashi Rom. I've not. You're Keith! Who do you look like? You've been in another game, I think. What's Keith? What's Keith about you for? It's my friend Keith. I know this Keith, I guess.
Oh, hey, it's you. Wow, long time.
It is me.
Who's this?
It's Keith, clearly.
Hey, not too old now. Did you manage to keep that plan I got you alive?
It's living.
Really? Nice job. I didn't expect it to last a month. It's
Then why'd
great
you
to
give it
see
to
you.
me? That was...
Sorta
You
surreal, too.
condemned a
You're never
plant.
around on social sites or anything, you know. I bet you didn't see any of the pictures I put up from my last climbing trip in Colorado.
You go... Did you look familiar to me because I know you in the game? The corporate venom! There's already a plastic man living in my mind, making me live the worlds!
For a tech journalist, you do have pretty poor net presence.
I have pretty poor.
That's what I said.
Don't encourage him.
Figures. So, what's with the bot?
It's touring, roaming around at the
Yours,
speed of sound.
really? Huh. I didn't think you liked to bring work home, as it were.
This isn't my
Anyway,
house.
It's great to see you. What brings you to the Hassie bar?
I like to bring
Doing a
work
review of
Hassie.
that Sweet weather rom outside or something?
We're on an investigate.
All right, now that's the kind of journalism I'm talking about.
You are often talking about journalism. Keith goes around climbing in Colorado, talking about journalism to anyone who'll listen. But it's only this kind of journalism. And he's running out, because there's only a finite number of journalism that has happened in his presence. But he needs to talk about it on the mountain. Alright, it helps him focus.
Indeed, we're looking into some accusations made against Charlie Nova. And we're actually trying to build up a solid case against him.
No shit. I actually may have exactly what you need.
Well, that's helpful.
Charlie comes here all the time. You know that show he's host of, Star in the Stratosphere? That show where normal people try to become actors and singers and all. Listen to this recording I made when he was here last month on his book tour.
So many people come up to me thinking that if they can sing or act, I'll just make them a superstar. But that isn't how it works. Raw talent isn't enough to get you by in this industry, and anyone who thinks so is lying to themselves. It takes hard work and persistence. You gotta want it, and want it bad. But the kids I get on Star in the Stratosphere, which I host each and every week, as you all know, they're all so young and hungry. I love them. I do my damnedest to make sure they get what they want. They give me their best, so I'm gonna give them mine.
It's not much, and it might help you build a case if you chop it up right. Just keep my name off it. Not scandals.
I was wondering where you were going with that, but you just have things of him talking that I can fabricate lies
Well,
with.
if nothing else, the threat of this dropping on the mess should get them talking. Here, I just made a copy for you.
Thank you for copying it to
Anyway,
me.
I'd love to catch up soon. For now, I'll let you keep at it. You can usually find me here if you want to chat again.
I'm glad for chattings, Keith, tonight. Thank you for Keith. Right, what can we do with this?
Why did you tell Keith that I belong to you?
Because there were no other dialogue options. I don't know if... This seems insidious. I do like you, but the rest of this has implications I'm deeply uncomfortable with.
Very fair. You may continue to run with that as your story with those who don't or shouldn't know the truth about me.
Yes.
Anyway,
Spherical excellence. I've got some evidence.
frankly, I'm starting to feel a bit uneasy about this. Mr. Nova's clearly an upstanding individual, if just a bit boisterous. But I suppose if we're in for a penny, we're in for a pound.
It's
This should
too
be
late
more
to
than
avoid
enough
the coins
anecdotal
now.
evidence to fabricate a less than flattering image of Mr. Nova that the public will eat right up. Let us present our story to him immediately. Hopefully our delay has not put him in physical danger.
Alright. Sometimes you got to have a physical crime to do a wrongness. Where is this order? Let's go back and do
Hey,
horrors.
you two.
Me? Both of me?
I think I'm gonna have to let security know that you're not allowed back in the building.
Why?
Doubtful. But let's hear it. Never let it be said I didn't give someone a chance to dig their own grave.
I do like graves.
So what? I like to show people a good time. There's nothing wrong with that.
Damn it, I told you to get off the crash, Charlie.
Well, there's all those naughty seemings.
Shit like this keeps coming up.
I did. And besides, I wasn't doing anything illegal.
Nobody's doing anything illegal until big naughty Samson makes it illegal. Just keeps creating new crimes. None of us can stop him. We don't know what's going on there.
Anyway, this is just pathetic. This is really your best attempt at blackmailing us?
No, I've got 2 more attempts.
Ha! You're just grasping at straws.
Well, I have lots of straws to grasp at, is the thing, and I'll make an entire wicker basket.
This speech was truly a beacon of light for the entire entertainment community. There's no way an original sermon like that is going to convince anyone that I'm a bad guy.
Well, with some creative editing.
Why are you giving me hints?
Whatever, this is still nothing but hot air. You need to step up your game, kid.
Alright. Well, here's him swearing at cats!
Hey, that's completely out of context. And I love Captain Snuggles. Sure, we didn't get off to a good start, but he's a great cat. The best.
Charlie, flipping off a kitten? Why? You go public with this flimsy smear piece, I'm gonna tear you apart.
Oh, enough! I'm not cut out for this cloak and dagger game, Sympathy.
Haha! You fool!
What's the big deal anyway?
I'm
It's
not
like
playing
we've got
you, I'm
anything
playing the funny
substantial
man.
to use. I might
He
as well
always
give them what
cracks
they
whenever I
want, so
gather
they'll go
3
away.
unrelated pieces of innocuous information.
And I'll be taking that evidence.
It served the purpose, and now it's time to execute the circles.
You didn't have to do all of this.
Yeah, I did.
I would have helped if you had just asked.
I did.
But it's always push and dig and needle, isn't it?
Well, I've got to sew together the graves. Haven't I? You muppet.
I'm not a journalist. I'm just an anchor.
Well, I'll throw you off
I
a boat
read
then.
off a teleprompter and look good doing it. I don't have much to offer you, but here's what I know. Trust me, I'd love to lay down some earth-shattering pronouncement and dazzle you with my investigative skills, but all I've got is flimsy threads at best. The thing is, all this stuff with my stories, stuff getting changed, making me look like I don't like the human revolution or whatever, it started after I had an upgrade made to my VR uplink hardware. The technically legal kind.
Oh ho.
Look, I like to have a good time at a party, right?
Yes.
But sympathy keeps hammering on me for pounding back too much crash and whatnot. Nothing illegal, but she says it makes me look like shit on camera the next day. So I went to this guy I know, good guy, everyone uses him. He's called Nanya.
Sir, how long do you think I've been doing this?
He does great work. After just one simple back alley brain surgery, bing bang boom. I can use an app to make my VR uplink have the same effect on my brain that the stims do, without all the nasty physical side effects. It could be a coincidence, though. The tech guys didn't find anything wrong with my uplink, and they say the modifications check out. But that Nanya guy does a lot of work for media people around here, so if a bunch of posts are getting changed, maybe that's your weak link. Anyway, that's it. Pretty flimsy, but I'll send you the address and you can go talk to him.
I would like an address if I can get that for now, yeah.
If he'll even see you, that is.
Well, if I can see him, he can see me.
Well,
So
it took
naturally.
far too long to get to it, but I'm quite happy to assist in any way that I can. Just make sure you source me in your article, right? Maybe run a rough draft past me and I'll give you some quotes. I'm certain that'll help signal boost the story all the way to the stratosphere.
Where the stars are that I govern.
Give it the old Charlie Nova bump.
That, I'm fairly certain that means something else that I'd rather not tell people I've been doing while working.
Maybe we can smooth out all this silliness between us.
There's too much silly string between us, you'll never get over here in time without tripping over. I'm
Anyhow,
sorry, it's too
I
late.
really have to get back to work.
Smooth
Let me
the
know how
string
it
down the
goes with
drain.
Murderous hacker thing. My ROM will call your ROM.
Thank you, I'll drink your phone number. Right, I've got to see someone about a skeleton, so I'll be gone for 5 years at the moment, real time. Goodbye for now. Tune in.